Natalie Vie, U.S. fencer, women's uprights.
Natalie, thank you so much for providing your own introduction. Natalie, apart from being right here, right now, your social media profile shows you all over the world. What's the story?
Well, number one, we have a crazy travel schedule. I don't know, is this too bad? Well, number one, we have a crazy travel schedule. We have 8 World Cups a year, at least, and so we're traveling to another country almost every month, which is a little insane. But I've also taken a few months to train at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs, which has been a lot of fun. So I'm based out of New York City. I live in Brooklyn, and yeah, but I've been away for the last 4 to 5 months.
and so with the imbalance of the lifestyle of a fencer, how has kind of basing yourself in the Springs helped achieve some level of balance?
Yeah, so the reason I made the decision, a big reason that I decided to go to the Springs from New York was that I felt like my program was incomplete. I love fencing. Anyone that has trained with me knows I love fencing. I came to fencing kind of late, so maybe that's why I love it so much, but I think it's a fantastic sport, and I am so happy that it's my biggest passion. But my program was very incomplete. So one of the things that was incomplete was my nutrition plan. I didn't have a good nutrition plan that supported a proper workout plan, and those were 2 big things that I felt that I needed that I could get at the Springs. Plus there's the support in other ways, like we work with athletic trainers, we work with, if any ache or pain, I can go to the trainers and they'll work out, which was fantastic. So there was a level of support that I could get as an athlete that I didn't feel at the time that I could get in New York. So I wanted to spend some good time there, and once I was there, it was amazing because I learned so much. I have a workout plan, and then I have a nutrition plan that supports my workout plan, and then on top of having that, then I also know there's so much that I learned about injury prevention and the importance, like the mental aspect of fencing, which I already knew, but I've been working a lot more with the sports psychologist, which has been fantastic. So I feel like now I have more of a complete plan and understanding of what a complete plan is in fencing.
And as far as like your Instagram feed goes, a lot of what we see on there is really focused on yoga. How much does yoga play a part in what you're talking about, your fitness program?
Yeah, yoga's huge. Yoga's huge for 2 reasons. Number one, there's the physical aspect of yoga. When I was at the Olympic Training Center in the Springs, I spent a lot of time at sports med. Number one, because it interested me, and then number 2, because I wanted to prevent any injury. I was weightlifting, and I had never weightlifted. I weightlifted a little bit, but I've never weightlifted regularly before, and so I was having a lot of aches and pains that I didn't normally have. So I was spending a lot of time in sports med, and I learned that a lot of the people that were coming in, I noticed, it had a lot of the athletes that were coming in had something to do. Most of their injuries had something to do with some kind of structural imbalance in their bones, and they had a structural imbalance in their bones because there was tension in their muscles that was pulling them in a certain direction, which could, going on could cause issues later on.
Which fencers know very well.
Yes, we are we're not very balanced. But the good thing about yoga is that if you do level 1 Ashtanga class, focuses a lot on stretching out the big muscle groups in your body and even some of the smaller muscle groups in the body. And by stretching out and maintaining that flexibility, you actually prevent, I would say almost 90% of the injuries that I saw in sports med were related to that, and so I think you can prevent most injuries just by practicing level 1 Ashtanga.
so yoga's really, it's just a supplement to your workout and really helps you kind of cross-train to ensure that you're balanced and healthy.
It's a form of cross-training, but it's also something that I love doing. Also, it keeps me mentally and energetically in balance. We don't have to talk about energetically why it keeps me balanced.
We see that energy here.
Yeah, that goes into a lot of yogic and Ayurvedic theory, but in terms of staying mentally balanced, meditation, which yoga is, in practicing yoga and in practicing fencing, that's an active meditation, but even just sitting and meditating, which I like to do after my yoga practices, has been huge. I talk to my students a lot about this, about the voice in their head, and when I start working with a student, especially someone who's maybe not a kid 7, 8 years old, but especially 13, 14 years old is when I start to talk to them about the importance of listening to what's going on in your head. And you can have these disturbances that maybe it'll be as small as, oh my gosh, did I zip up my fencing bag in the middle of you fencing? Or, did I check out of my hotel? Did I call my mom? All of these, smaller disturbances, but then you can also have larger disturbances. That voice that tells you, this person is not as good as you. Why are you, you suck. Why are you fencing this way? Or you're amazing. You're going to give this great interview. And, so your voice can, take you up or take you down, and that just takes you out of the moment. So having a regular meditation practice has helped me stay in the moment, and it has also helped me learn to quiet down that voice and kind of ignore it, that I don't think is helpful at all. So those are two, among many things, those are two huge reasons I practice yoga.
Excellent.
And that they help me.
Excellent. Well, obviously the energy is shining through here and working well for you. How about as far as like your roadmap? What's next for you?
Tonight I fly into Colorado Springs. I have a series of blood tests, which I'm actually extremely excited about because I've actually struggled a lot with anemia. Part of it was I moved from the West Coast to East Coast. I grew up in the sunshine. I was born in LA and I grew up in Phoenix, and I was always used to a lot of sunshine. I went out to New York. I mean, I have a theory about why I became extremely vitamin D deficient, and there's no sun. I start drinking coffee, and then that coffee leads to other vitamin deficiencies. And so I, over the course of a few years, I became extremely anemic, and which had a huge impact on my fencing and my performance, and even my cognitive ability, I started noticing. And so I'm going in for blood tests in the Springs, but they're also going to test VO2 max, bone density. I get an EKG. I think I'm getting tested in every way possible. It's 3 full days of testing, and then after that, I'm going back to Phoenix to visit my mom and my sister for a few days, and then I fly back to New York City to train, which is where I'm based out of, where I will be for at least the next 2 years. And then after that, I'm actually only there for like a week, because then we have a World Cup in Budapest.
All right, well.
That's a crazy schedule, I know.
Yeah, good luck with that schedule, and best wishes with the upcoming World Cup in Budapest.
Thank you.
And everything else.
Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie.